Well, do you know where we're going?
Yeah, it's vacation Bible school time.
Yes, it is. Yes. Well, let's see where we can go then.
All right.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Road Noise. As you heard, Dad just mentioned it's vacation Bible school time, and it is. It's summertime, and it seems like that is the theme for summer in many churches across America is a few days dedicated towards the kids, bringing the kids together, sharing the gospel with children of all ages. And yeah, so that was a big part of course, my childhood and growing up. And it's been a big part of your adult life, Dad. So where are we
I
headed
tell
to
you,
today?
vacation Bible school is a good thing, and it's changed a lot over the years. I don't know if we ever covered this in any of the previous podcasts, but when your mom and I first started, a lot of churches were doing Bible school for 2 weeks. And then it wasn't long until it was shortened to 1 week, and then it was shortened to, okay, we can't have morning Bible schools anymore because we don't have any ladies that are available. They're all working jobs outside the home. So we'll switch and have 1 week in the evening. And then that kind of dwindled to, okay, instead of going Monday through Friday, we'll go Monday through Thursday because everybody takes off on Friday for a 3 day weekend. And anyway, so things have changed over the years, but my oh my, Vacation Bible School is still a great thing to have your kids involved in if they're of school age anyway. And in fact, this next week, I'm going to be involved in a Vacation Bible School doing Just Kidding program. But anyway, for this podcast, let's go back several years. It was a Just Kidding program, so not back to Puppet Prospector days or the Puppet People days prior to that, but to a Just Kidding one. I was doing a vacation Bible school Monday through Friday, a morning Bible school, so that kind of tells us it's been a minute since this has happened. Um, the church wasn't very big, and I've done an awful lot of small churches. They could afford to have us. I mean, that was one of the reasons they had us, is because they could afford. Anyway, so it was a relatively small church and a, a good number of kids, for that community. Not a lot of workers. And to be perfectly honest, it really wasn't that well organized. But nevertheless, here we are. And I'm up first. I do the presentation using the gospel magic and juggling stuff. And then after I'm done, the kids are dismissed to go to the basement and they had a craft time down there. After they're done with crafts, then they grab refreshments, cookies and Kool-Aid, and go outside for games. And then when they get done with the games, they come back into the auditorium and I've got a 10-minute closing. That we did it every day. So that's kind of the schedule. Well, on the last day, so this is Friday morning, there's a kid that showed up, and I hate to put labels on a kid, but it didn't take very long to label this kid as a troublemaker. I'm going to guess he was probably fifth grade. The Bible school went from first through sixth grade, and I'm guessing he was a fifth grader. And normally during my part of the program, I've got the kids' attention. I mean, I've got so much going on between the magic and the juggling, and and having helpers come up on the platform and everything, that most kids are glued, but not this kid. He was sitting relatively close to the front, but he could not keep his hands to himself and he couldn't keep his mouth closed. And all right, I'm going on with the program, but one of the workers um, noticed the kid. I mean, everybody was noticing him and went up and said something to him and then went back to the back. And I don't know what they said to him, but it didn't do any good. And so they went up a second time and took the kid to the back and made him sit in the back where they were. Well, anyway, so all that happened during my part of the program. Remember, this is Friday, last day of Vacation Bible School. Okay, so when I'm done, kids go downstairs and for their craft time. This poor kid wasn't downstairs 10 minutes, I'm sure, and one of the workers brought him back up, set him back in the back of the auditorium, and told him to sit there. Meanwhile, like I said, this is the last day, so I'm packing up all of my stuff. I mean, I've got the whole week's worth of stuff there, so I'm getting it all packed up so that when things are over, I can load up and be out of there. And so the kid's sitting back there, watching me load everything up, and he stayed there. And he was pretty much quiet the whole time and wasn't any problem. Well, when the rest of the kids come up from the basement, now they're going to go outside for games. So they got this kid and took him with the rest of the kids outside. This poor kid, I doubt if he was out there 10 minutes, and they brought him back in and set him back down again because apparently he threw a rock at one of the other kids. All right, so here he is back in there again. Well, all the kids come back in. I did my little closing thing, and they had a photographer that showed up because this photographer's job was to get a picture of everybody, last day of Bible school, everybody up on the platform, and a group shot, with this. I doubt if they were really a professional photographer, but they had some nice camera equipment anyway. Well, anyway, so they're there, and so now it's like, okay, we need everybody up on the platform. Well, by now I've got all my stuff packed up and off to the side, and so we want the taller ones in the back and the shorter ones in the front. And so I'm in the back row, and this kid is also in the back row. But I'm going to call it on my left side, and he's clear over on the right side of the platform. And then all the younger kids in front of him, and until you get down to the very front, and there's the littlest ones. So we're ready to take the picture. And to be perfectly honest, I don't remember if the picture ever got taken. But this kid that we're referring to, who's now clear across the platform away from me, he jumps on the back of a kid in front of him, tackling him to the floor, and starts beating on him with both fists. When this starts, all the other kids instantly leave the platform. I mean, they are yelling, they're screaming, they're running, and they're wanting out of there. Meanwhile, these two boys are on the ground, and one kid's pounding on the other one. And so, and none of the workers could get to these kids because here's all the other kids coming down off the platform. So you got this stampede of kids coming right at you. So if you're a worker trying to get to these kids, well, anyway, so talk about mass confusion. Well, hey, I'm there at the back. I'm at the opposite side, but it did not take me long to get over to where this kid was at. Like I said, both of them down on the floor, and he's on top of the other kid just pounding away on him. And so I grabbed his left arm and I pulled him up off that other kid, and he doubles up his fist with his right hand and takes a swing at me. Well, I don't think the kid really understood who he was dealing with because it was pretty much instant at that point. I had both of his arms and his hands pinned to his side. He is not going to be hitting anybody at this point. Meanwhile, one of the workers is helping the kid that's on the ground get up and checking him out, make sure he's okay and he wasn't bleeding or anything. So they take him down off the platform, and Meanwhile, I still have this kid. So the pastor comes up and says, "Young man, you're coming with me." And pastor takes this boy to the pastor's office. Well, everybody leaves. I load up all my stuff and I leave. And this church was close enough that I could commute every day back and forth. And so I get back home, go to the office, and I'm not there very long and my phone rings, and it was the pastor. And the pastor shared with me that, had a good talk with this kid and ended up calling his mom to come get him. And she was not happy at all because she could not believe that her little angel would ever do anything like that to anybody. And she's upset that she's got to come get him, and which means she has to take off work. And so she's going to miss work to come pick up this kid. And so she's threatened to sue the church. So pastor called to give me a heads up. He's saying, okay, this lady is threatened to sue us. And if she does, Sheldon, just wanted to let you know that your name is probably going to be brought up too. Okay. So I'm thinking, all right, what's going on? How long am I going to wait before I find out what the result's going to be here? Well, talked with the pastor again about it a week or so later, and the mom had calmed down and apparently realized that maybe her little angel wasn't the angel that she thought he was. And that's the last we ever heard of the lawsuit. But you know, as I've thought about that over the years, that's probably the closest I've ever come to being sued. And, well, how are you supposed to handle a thing like that? But it reminds me of Proverbs chapter 20, verse 11. That says, even a child is known by his behavior. His actions show if he is innocent and good. I have no idea whatever happened to this boy. I would like to think that somewhere along the line, God and the Holy Spirit got a hold of this young man and changed his life around, changed his attitude, changed his behavior. And my God can do that. If that didn't happen and this kid continued the rest of his life with that type of actions and attitude, it wouldn't surprise me if he's sitting in jail somewhere today. So even a child, by their actions, become known. And so parents, if you have kids, hey, got a responsibility. Teach them. And if there's a report of maybe some activity that you think, no, that couldn't be my child, well, be open enough to realize that maybe it could be your child. So again, I highly recommend Vacation Bible Schools. It's the only Vacation Bible School that I've ever been a part of that there was a fight up front.
Yeah, you've seen all sorts of things in Vacation Bible School. A fight's pretty uncommon, so
It doesn't happen every day, and it's a good thing.
yeah, but it's just a great reminder that there's lessons to be learned all around, and our behavior is indicative of our character. And yeah, that's what an important reminder.
Yeah. All right. This ought to be an easy one for you. What's a fighter's favorite part of a joke?
Oh, I'm going to say the punchline.
It's got to be the punchline. Yes. Yes. And all right. So, what do you call a fight between movie stars?
I don't know.
Star Wars.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
All right. Here's another easy one, and we'll call it quits on this one. What's a fighter's favorite dog?
I don't
Come
know.
on. It's got to be the boxer.
Yeah. Yeah. It is the boxer.
Let's park this thing.
let's park it here before we get in trouble. We'll pick it up again next week.